What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live episode of Strong Style here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I'm the Outlaw John Rocha, and I'm joined as always by my co-host there, apparently the legend killer, Aaron Turner. How are you, man?
Yeah, Turner 469 says I just retired your ass. That's
not me. You didn't. God damn, dude.
Are you sure?
Yeah, very sure. Let's just make that really clear.
I think I did.
How do you figure you retired my ass on an exhibition match? What are you kidding?
Well, I mean, it was your last match, and
that isn't my last match.
Well,
I got one last ride coming.
You begged Christian for a match. Christian said no. He said no, sir, not happening.
Oh, I didn't beg him. I told him. I didn't say please, and then get on my fucking knees. I demanded the match
on air, maybe, but behind the scenes, I think you maybe begged him.
Yeah,
but
you can think whatever you want to think in your little mind. But that's for
anyway. Yeah, I mean. I'm a legend killer. Like who's next? Who's next? Dan Murrell, done. Harloff, done. Who? Riley, done. I beat them all. It doesn't matter.
I agree. It's
doesn't
incredible.
Matter.
It's incredible. It's got to say something about those guys you played in the FCL that somehow they were able to beat you, but the legends can't. So,
well, what's funny about that whole thing is I may be 0-2 in the FCL, but it doesn't matter if I'm 0-99. Still 1-0 against you, sir.
You are in a wrestling trivia match. Anytime you want to go for movie trivia, you let me know. You let me know when you want.
You will also lose at that. You will also
please,
lose.
Anytime. I'll do a rematch. I got no problem with that. You want to start me on a rematch? I got no problem with that.
You'll lose, and you'll lose.
Please. I've seen the people you play. You got to be kidding me, man. Anyway, I've seen the people you lost to, rather. My God.
I've seen the people you lost to also.
You have. Name them. Dan Murrell.
Scott
Vance. Who?
Scott Vance.
The first match 7 seasons ago? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
All those times that the Patriots beat you?
Yeah, and they're all what? Where are they on the tag team Mount Rushmore?
Number one.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't lose to nobodies like you. I lose to real players, legitimate champions, legitimate Schmodown legends, pal. So
I play to the level of my competition, so that's all I can say.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a fucking shame. Anyway, we're going to get into some things and have some fun today here. Oh, yeah, I saw you in the Schmodown Rundown. What a joke. Both of you, all three of you could barely above 1,000 views. I broke 1,000 views that night on my own show.
My God,
hilarious. Considering how many subscribers you guys have, you can barely break 1,000 views. That's some sad ass shit. Anyway,
I like that I'm legitimately making you. I like that I'm making you legit upset about it. Like it's really not a big deal. Like
I'm not upset about it.
You are.
Nah, come on, get real.
It's
we're gonna get into some things here today. We're gonna get some pro wrestling. Gonna talk some AEW Grand Slam, some AEW moves here with the Owen Hart Foundation, which has been sending some shockwaves through the pro wrestling online community for sure. A lot of back and forths about that situation. So we're going to get into that. Also going to talk about our predictions for WWE Extreme Rules. And we're going to get into some conversations here about what we about this very powerful documentary. You know, all bullshit aside between Aaron and I, but this really powerful documentary on Chris Kanyon from Dark Side of the Ring that I watched this morning and just was very moved by, very affected by, and I can't wait to dive into it. Plus, we're going to answer all your Streamlabs and SuperChats questions, so please send them in. We got a bit of a fiery start already, so you know we're ready to battle, ready to talk about stuff. So if you got something you want to ask us, please send it in on your the Streamlabs address or send it in on SuperChat. I'm going to pin it in the chat, the Streamlabs address, but it's right above Aaron's head. It's in the description of this video. So, Aaron, overall, though, how are you? How are things?
I've been better.
Oh, I'm sorry, bud. I'm sorry. All right. Well, where would you like to start? Maybe we can take your mind off and put you in a better place. So where do you want to start?
We can, because we're starting with CM Punk. He's wearing trunks again. No, I'm kidding. We're not starting with that. We're starting with something even better, and that is the Owen Hart Foundation has struck a deal with All Elite Wrestling and a partnership that will not only benefit the Owen Hart Foundation, which of course does great work. If you didn't catch that Dark Side of the Ring episode, they break it all down for you, what the Owen Hart Foundation does, scholarships in Canada, the whole deal. And Owen Hart will be on AEW's upcoming video game that they've poured a lot of money into.
Yeah.
Owen Hart wrestling figures are currently in development. Jeremy Padower, the head of AEW figures for Jazzware, said that is absolutely happening and in the works. And they could see other things like apparel, posters, and other collectible merchandise, it says here.
Yeah.
AEW's relationship with the Hart family dates back to the inaugural pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, in 2019. As Tony Khan said, to extend his memory and his legacy even further through his agreement is a powerful and meaningful moment for the entire wrestling industry. Now, there will be an Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament as well, so that's going to be exciting to see. What do you think about Owen Hart getting, even though it's not WWE, it was, let me just, before I get to you, let me just start here. It was never going to be WWE.
Nope.
Martha Hart was never, ever, ever going to let Owen Hart be in their Hall of Fame, let them get merchandising rights. It was never going to happen.
Yeah.
So let's just start there.
Yeah.
But the fact that Owen gets to have a legacy, and it's with AEW, a large wrestling company these days, that keeps getting bigger by the week. I think it's awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's fantastic. I think it's exactly, I don't know if it's the right time, because I feel like the time's overdue to respect Owen Hart and commemorate him and celebrate him and have put out merchandise for him through a large organization like AEW, through a wrestling organization. And it's really interesting because he didn't wrestle a day for AEW, but I don't know if I've ever seen an organization honor a wrestler who has passed, who never wrestled 1 second for them, to the point where they're doing figures and putting him in the video game. These are massive things that they're doing. That tells you how much of an effect that Owen Hart had on so many wrestlers, so many people who were his contemporaries, all the way down to the most recent generation of pro wrestlers. He's still having an effect on them, and how his death really had an effect on them, and symbolizes sometimes what can happen when a big organization sees wrestlers as a number sometimes and doesn't focus on what needs to, all the little minutia to pull off a stunt like this, and they cause the death of a wrestler. So it's like a microcosm of how wrestlers sometimes feel these bigger organizations treat them, and especially the WWE, is just numbers on a ledger. Whatever the blame may be, you can feel one way or another about it if you do your own research on it. But I think this is really great. And this is also another way for people who don't even know who Owen Hart is to be able to get to know him and watch his stuff and see videos, see documentaries, get figures, all these kinds of things to get reacquainted with Owen Hart. So I think it's fantastic. And of course, I think Martha is doing it as a massive fuck you to the WWE. This is a massive, I don't know how you can see it in any other way than a massive fuck you to the WWE. Not in a bitter, angry way, more in a you're never, ever going to be able to reconstruct this bridge like you did with Brett. You're never going to be able to reconstruct this bridge with my husband. And her family feels the same way, her kids. So shout out to her for being very strong to push back against a corporation like that and go down this path with AEW.
I hate to be so cold and callous, but I don't think WWE gives a shit. Like, I don't think they really care, honestly. And that's fine. Like you said, numbers on a ledger. So it's like, okay, well, Owen Hart, okay, they're going to make money for the Owen Hart Foundation in AEW. WWE doesn't give a shit. They got Connor's Cure. They got all this other stuff going on. Yes, Owen Hart was a great wrestler for the WWE and all that stuff for all those many years, but I really don't think they care.
You really don't think they care? I
don't think they give a damn.
Really?
I really don't.
That's
I think they probably saw this news and went, okay.
Really?
What do they have to do?
Callousness of them even more so, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, I hate to sound cold about it, but that's the truth. Like, I don't think they give a rat's ass. Wow. I think if they can't make money off of it, they don't care. Like, when they bring Brett back, or they put Brett in video games, or they make figures with Brett, they'll be all buddy with Brett, but they're never going to get Owen. They were never going to get Owen since that accident happened, so they don't give a shit. They just wrote it off. Wow. Okay. I'm not saying that I don't care. I love Owen Hart. Of course, I'm an Owen Hart fan. Like, when they made the Dark Side of the Ring and they let Owen Hart T-shirts go, like Martha let that happen. They printed Owen Hart T-shirts. I bought them both. I have them both sitting there. When they have Owen Hart wrestling figures, they allowed them to make, if you're in the collectibles world, they made micro brawlers of Owen Hart, which are the first Owen Hart figures in like 20 some years.
Yeah.
they sold like crazy. They're still a hot item right now. So the fact that we're going to get Owen Hart figures and stuff like that, which is stuff we've needed for a long time as collectors and fans of Owen Hart, we've needed that stuff. So I'm glad that it's coming. I'm glad that we can honor Owen Hart. I'm glad that a new generation will figure out who Owen Hart is. I mean, it's not uncommon that this has happened though. Like WWE does this. Like they've, Vern Gagne's in the Hall of Fame. They've made action figures of people that never wrestled for them, and stuff like that. It's happened, but WWE is not the only gig in town anymore. So I think it was the right move to go to All Elite, because I think that Tony Khan is, as a fan, more so than an owner, will do right by Owen Hart and his legacy, and I think it's a good move.
Yeah. JB Gamer says, some money in the meter to get this party started. Thank you very much, GB Gamer. And did Aaron take your hat as a trophy? Jeez, it's an exhibition match, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down.
It got pretty heated for an exhibition match, folks. I'm gonna be honest with you. It got hot. It got hot.
Sure. When you got an asshole shooting his mouth off where he shouldn't shoot his mouth off, I'm gonna put him in his place. I got no problem with that.
It wasn't me, by the way. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you. No, Aaron wasn't. Aaron was defending his side of the ledger well. So no
goddamn professional.
That's what he is. But no, I mean, I don't know if I agree with you, man, because I think I'm going to take your logic and turn it around on you. Just like you said about the figures, it made a lot of money and sold out. So basically, if you just said that if the WWE can't make money off it, they don't care. Well, they lost out on making money off this. So I think they do care. I think there's a large portion or a certain section of the arm of merchandising and money making, and Vince even, who saw the potential of being able to bridge this gap and be able to make money off it. The fact that they can't, and AEW kind of swoops in and is now going to make a crap ton of money off something the WWE built / the WWF built for so many years. It's a bit of a loss for them. So to me, I think they do care, at least financially. They might not care about the emotional nature of it all, but certainly financially, they're missing out on a lot of money here.
Maybe, but also let me turn that back around. The Owen Hart Foundation, we don't know the particulars of the deal, so maybe all of it just goes to the Owen Hart Foundation. And I don't think WWE would have done that deal. They make no money. Like, we're going to do all this stuff and make no money? Hell no. Like, it's not going to happen. I guarantee you that the Owen Hart Foundation gets at least 75% of all of it.
Really?
And WWE would have never made that deal.
True.
Because on the T-shirts and the micro brawlers they made, I think they got 100%. Or I think after cost, maybe they got like the rest of it. So it's pretty wild to think WWE would never make a deal like that. So that's my logic in that sense. Okay. They're not missing out on anything.
Wow. I don't know if I agree with you, but all right. Well, let's set that aside. Overall, though, I think both of us feel this is a good thing. Be seeing Owen Hart highlighted. I don't know how they're going to do this without any of his matches. Do they have access? I mean, I see Dark Side of the Ring having access to footage from matches for the Owen Hart documentary. Do you think AEW will get access to matches, to old WWE, WWF matches, in order to do a documentary as some kind of compilation, or will it just be talking heads?
Well, I don't think they'll have access to that. They'll have access to his Japan stuff, which he did a lot. So they'll have access to that.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that they can't use the King of Hearts moniker, but who can't? Like, it's not a big deal. Like, Owen Hart is Owen Hart. You know, you can call him the Rocket if you want. So, or the Nugget. So it just, I don't. Yeah, they can get that Japan footage. I'm sure they can show photos with altered photos and stuff. I don't know if AEW is in the business of making documentaries, so I don't know about that. But when it comes to merchandise, it's going to be interesting because they can't use certain logos and certain things that were synonymous with Owen Hart. So they'll what I imagine they will do is they'll use his Japan looks first, which are just like plain blue pants and plain red pants. So it'll probably just be something like that until we get further and further.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. And I don't know where you get the WWE's. I mean, the entire network's full of documentaries. I don't know what you're talking about when you say.
No, I'm talking about AEW. Like they don't have a network. They don't have
I've never seen them do a documentary. You're right about that. So
they don't have a network.
Well, best way to break the schneid is to go with a subject like this. And I'm sure now with the rise of the AEW brand, there are going to be directors and producers and creators who are going to want to maybe work with them and put out the best documentary they can. So hopefully they do, because Owen Hart deserves it for sure. Let's see here. We got a Streamlab that came through from John Alexander. Says, I'm at the gym, but I wanted to stop in and show you guys some love. I'll check out the stream later. Hashtag strong style. Thank you, John. Appreciate that.
Get pumped up, son. Get a good pump.
Get a good pump. All right, where are we off to next? And ladies and gentlemen, send your Streamlabs and Super Chats as we go along. Don't make me upset. You saw me on Wednesday or on Thursday how I am when I get upset. So don't make me upset. Start sending some support in for us throughout the show. Me and Aaron deserve it. We bring you a great show every Saturday. You're hanging out with us, putting laughs on your face, putting smiles on your face, and helping you talk about pro wrestling in an interactive way. So give us some love on the Streamlabs and the Super Chats. All right, Aaron, where are we off to?
We are talking about AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, folks. And what a Grand Slam it was. Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson led it off as they should have, which was kind of what I predicted would happen in my brain. I was like, well, if they really want to start this hot, let's just do Omega and Danielson right away.
Right.
And that's what they did. And they went to a 30-minute time limit draw, which a lot of fans were like, I don't understand. I don't know what a draw is because they probably haven't seen a draw in their lifetime. But I mean, Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat used to do 60-minute draws every effing week back in the day. So it's not an uncommon thing in the history of pro wrestling. I think it was the perfect move. That way, both guys look strong going into obvious rematch, which will happen down the line. Yeah. That was really the big thing. Dave Meltzer gave it 5 stars. If you care about stuff like that, I don't. But he gave it 5 stars, which is Bryan Danielson's first 5-star match rating ever.
Wow.
So what did you think of this?
Oh, my God. This was a fantastic match. Are you kidding? I was, you wonder if they're going to be able to pull off these matches as they transition into this new promotion. They put Bryan Danielson up against Kenny Omega, their top dog, right off the bat. They had CM Punk take on Darby Allin, one of their new young top dogs, and Ruby Soho take on Britt Baker. So already you're thrusting these 3 stars you've brought over into these prominent matches, and you have a fantastic match between both these guys. I mean, it felt like an old school 1970s heavyweight boxing match. They circled each other, they sized each other up, and then eventually they got into it. And the moves and the choreography and the rhythm of it all, the pacing of it all, the back and forth throughout, just incredible. Some of the moves, I didn't know Danielson could do a few of those moves. Neither did I know that he still had the strength to be able to go and take that kind of punishment for so long. And I think a time limit draw was perfect. And just like always, though, everyone's talking about Bryan Danielson. No one's talking about Kenny Omega as much coming out of this match. And that's the way Kenny is sometimes. Kenny gets overshadowed all the time, unfortunately. But out of this whole thing, you're just happy you saw a fantastic match between both of them. And the time limit draw was the right decision. I think they should have done the same thing for Soho and Baker, but that's another conversation for later on in the show. But this was excellent, dude.
Yeah, it was really good. There's really nothing else you can say about it. I do love my Jim Cornette, but I think Corny is just so off base on Kenny Omega like 90% of the time. He doesn't like Kenny Omega. I get it, but you can't deny how good the guy is.
Yeah.
I still think that we haven't seen the New Japan Kenny Omega that was like really lighting the world on fire.
Right.
I don't think we've seen that yet, but that doesn't mean that we won't.
Right.
And I think that putting him with Bryan Danielson is going to be great. So, oh man, just another feather in the cap to AEW. Just started off hot. Keep going.
You mean the running down the ramp knee Kenny Omega? Is that who you mean? From
the running V trigger. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I just don't. I think putting him with the Elite and having like a goon squad is like kind of. I know he had the Bullet Club. It was a little bit different in New Japan, so it's like. I don't like that part of it, but Kenny Omega's doing some of the best like character work of his career. It's just not translating to me in that, oh, wow, it's Kenny Omega style. But that doesn't mean that he's not one of the best in the world. PWI ranked him number 1, which I don't know how you do that over Roman Reigns, but whatever. So, more will happen down the road. Kenny Omega will be great again. It's fine.
Kenny Omega will be great again. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Some of the other matches we had was MJF defeating Brian Pillman Jr. in a very competitive match. Malachi Black defeating Cody Rhodes again.
Yes.
With a roll up, and we saw the return of Brandy, and we saw the return. Well, we saw the Arn Anderson fell off the apron. So, sorry, Arn. Darby Allin and Sting defeated FTR, and I'm going to tell you this, and I know I'm going to make Gramash very mad. It's the wrong call. It was the wrong team.
Okay.
Wrong team went over. FTR is the best tag team in the world. They're better than the Young Bucks. They're better than the Usos. They're better than the Street Profits. They're better than everybody. And they are doing a job to Sting and Darby Allin, which I get. They're popular. Right. Okay, fine. But I'm here to tell you, and I know this is going to sound weird coming from a guy that's not in shape, but when you're a wrestler that is known for being a body guy, which Sting is. Sting used to be a power lifter.
Right.
And you're wrestling in a T-shirt. No.
Okay.
Nope. Can't do it. Time to stop. Stop that. Also, Sting doesn't need to be a 62-year-old Sting doesn't need to be beating FTR. I'm sure they loved it. I'm sure that FTR loved it, and they made Sting and Darby look great.
Yeah.
They made the match really great, but it just wasn't. I think it was the wrong call. What do you think?
I think the Lucha Brothers are a better tag team than the FTR, but
you're wrong. But go ahead.
FTR is look, Wheeler and they're good. Like nothing. Of course, they're one of the best to ever do it, and they certainly win wherever they go. Great personality, a lot of respect for the history of the business. So overall, I think these guys are fantastic for the business of wrestling. But sometimes they're boring to me. Sometimes they don't. I mean, sometimes they veer, and it's going to make you cry. But sometimes they veer into the Gallows Anderson territory for me, in that they have great chemistry, but they kind of bore me sometimes. I like the Lucha Bros a little bit better. I like the Usos better for sure. But I respect that you like that kind of old school approach that they have to wrestling, the methodical demolishment that they do with a lot of their moves here. And they have great chemistry. You can't deny it. But this is just a temporary win for Sting and Darby Allin. And then these guys are going to be back on top and probably will end up breaking that team. Do you think they'll break up? I mean, I feel like they'll break up Darby Allin and Sting eventually down the road.
Well, yeah, eventually. You can't have Sting wrestle forever, for God's sake.
I just feel like these are the guys that are going to snap that tag team in half somehow.
Maybe. And I see your guys' comments about Kevin Owens. Well, Kevin Owens wears a T-shirt. Kevin Owens isn't a body guy. Sting is a body guy.
Right, exactly.
And Sting did wear like a cutoff shirt like in WCW, so whatever. But and Kevin Owens is a cutoff. Leave Kevin Owens alone. He's lost a lot of weight. Anyway. Damn it.
I love how you get all your shots in. Like
I'm just saying, like it's true though. I made sure to preface it by saying Sting was a body guy.
I should have known what mood you were in the second we started this damn show. Taking the shots. Go ahead.
Just saying, Sting is a body guy. Kevin Owens is not. Kevin Owens is never going to be a bodybuilder. That's like Keith Lee.
True.
Like
he's not.
Keith Lee. Didn't wear a shirt in NXT. He came up to the main roster. I'm sure Vince McMahon took one look at him and said, "Oh God, put on a damn singlet." Right. I guarantee you. And I'm not like body shaming, obviously, because I'm a large man. I'm just saying this is what people look at.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
All right.
Stop it. Don't wrestle in a T-shirt.
Doesn't Punk? Oh no, I guess he doesn't. All right.
No, he wore trunks. He stopped wearing the pants because everybody shit on the pants because it made him look old as fuck.
I know. I didn't like the pants either, and I agree.
And now he's wearing the trunks again.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Wear the pants.
I don't know who told him to wear the pants, but they should have been kicked in the ass or something like. No, we're not doing that.
It's probably Punk. I don't think anyone told him to do it. But let's. You stopped just short before we got to the Britt Baker thing. But let's talk about the other two matches on the card. Dude, were you surprised by how good the Brian Pillman Jr. MJF match was? Were you surprised they let him get as many moves on MJF as he did, get the upper hand on a number of occasions throughout, or did this fit pretty much the blueprint of MJF matches where he's a chicken shit heel in the end who gets that victory? And have the female interference and all of that. Did that seem to fit what you expected, or were you a little bit impressed by Brian Pillman Jr. coming out of this match?
I've been pretty impressed with Brian Pillman Jr. over the past couple months, what he can do. I think he needs to break away from the Varsity Blondes. I don't really care for Griff Garrison. I think that maybe if you put Brian and Julia Hart together, that could really be something.
Yeah. Sure.
That could be a cool tag team or a cool tandem you can put together there.
Right.
It was okay. Brian's the underdog, so he's always going to get that good pop.
Right.
MJF, this is just holdover until they get something better for him right now. And if this is what he has to do, this is what he'll do. The only way that I think Pillman wins is by a roll-up if they keep doing that. So.
Right. What about Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes here? Malachi winning again, getting Brandy rolling in, giving him the double finger salute. But in the end, Cody getting beat here by Malachi Black. Where does Cody go next? And where does Malachi Black go next?
So on Twitter, there was a nice discussion about Cody Rhodes getting the go away heat, as we like to call it. And someone said that, Cody thinks that he's Captain America, but he's really Homelander from The Boys. And I was like, yeah, I could see that. And then I thought to myself, I said, if he's Homelander, then, oh no, Brandy, put your milk away. If you know what I'm talking about.
Hello.
Yeah, I think Cody's going to turn heel. I think that's just the way it's going to be. It's going to be weird though, because Cody's got the new reality show. Yeah. The Go Big Home show's coming up again. So maybe they need to keep him face. He needs to win something. I know that, but he can't win.
Back to what I said to you a couple of weeks ago. Although it was great to see him come back last week, do we need him back in AEW? Do you really need him back in the ring at AEW? Yes, you need him back as a personality, as a member of, as the one of the people in charge, but do you need him back as a wrestler in the ring? Because you're right. The go away heat tells you even the fans are like, yeah, we don't really need you here. You're cool. Thanks for putting this thing together. Do your thing in the back, collect your paycheck and whatever, and occasionally do a promo or whatever. But we don't need to see you in the ring like that. If the fans are like, man, it's cool. I don't know what you're in the ring for. You know what I'm saying?
He's in the ring because he's Cody Rhodes, and he's good in the ring, and we like having him around. I like having him around.
Yeah, okay.
So it's just my preference. I think he's great. I think he adds an element of realism. Remember, I've talked many times about how for the longest time Dynamite was booked so chaotically, like a roller coaster. Like sometimes you would have like the Young Bucks indie kind of feel, and then sometimes you would have Cody and Dustin and would feel an FTR, and it would feel more grounded in like old school wrestling. And now I think they've really struck the balance of that. It took a long time. AEW was a young show, Dynamite was, and now I think they're really getting going, and it's looking really bad for WWE. I'm sorry. Like it's looking really bad lately.
Yeah, it is. And that's hard for you to say. I know it is, as a WWE homer. So I respect that. All right, let's move on. Did you like any of the promos before we jump into the Britt Baker, Ruby Soho? I liked Miro's promo. Did you like Punk's promo about the Team Taz?
Give me Hook. The match that everybody wants is CM Punk versus Hook. It's CM Punk's great on the mic anytime you can get him on the mic. He had the match with Powerhouse Hobbs last night, and it was pretty good. I like Hobbs, of course. I think it did wonders for him. Yeah. CM Punk did not hit the GTS like I wanted to. And then I do want to touch on something though. Zeno Hour put it in the chat. He said Arn Anderson made a silly comment about the reaction to Cody. I just read that before we started on here. And Arn Anderson was saying something to the effect of like about Cody having like go away heat. He said, well, The Rock and John Cena went to Hollywood and made movies, and then people got mad, but when they came back, they always loved them. So I don't know what the problem is. And I was like, Arn. Arn, you're talking about The Rock, and you're talking about John Cena, two all-time greats, as good as Cody is. Yeah, not even close to either one of those levels. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Come on. Even Dave Bautista, you're not even Dave Bautista's level, who's the best actor of all of them. Just want to throw that out there. Yeah.
You going to get a toot shirt or no? You didn't know? You going to stay off?
A what?
Anyway,
let's
move on.
Find my new gear at skybound.com.
Oh, yeah. Let's find that gear.
I'm just saying, guys, I don't know. I might be dropping a little inside info here, but my time in the FCL might be over. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I might have got the call.
Really?
Yeah. They said, shit, you retired. They said you retired the all-time great.
Right.
I have to do something with this guy.
No, I think they actually sent your stuff in a garbage bag.
The FCL, they might have. They might have sent in a fucking Ziploc. Anyway,
poor Arn. We wish him a speedy recovery. Maybe that's where it was coming. The memes for Arn after that, after that match,
dude,
were hilarious. Dude, hilarious.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because he's done well. Like, he's an old guy, but he's done well.
Dude, you're an old guy. This is the chances you take. You end up becoming Pat Patterson and Jerry Briscoe. And so, I mean,
it's a stooge.
You stick around long enough. This is what happens. Tully, too. Tully will be that as well. Anyway. All right. Yeah, Sting is 1 year younger than Arn. Holy shit.
It doesn't look like it. It sure as hell does not look like it. Jesus. Like, Chris Taylor and I have heat. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, he's always down in me. I don't know what it is.
I think he's down to you because he wants to be in your position and he can't be. So
wait a minute. That's mean. I don't know. Hold on. That's mean. Take it back.
No, I'm not taking that back. I say what I say. You know that.
Take it back.
I love Chris. But I don't mind busting his balls. Speaking of which, Chris has sent us some super chats here.
Yeah, he's going to want to take him back. He's going to want to call his credit card company and get a refund.
For a whopping $2, I think you can take it back.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Top 5 tag teams in pro wrestling right now are. Well, Aaron certainly has FTR #1. That's for damn sure. What would be your 5? By the way, this is way too much for $2 that we're giving you. But all right.
Oh my God.
What's your top 5? Go.
Chris, I appreciate your loyalty. For my top 5 in no particular order, I would say Usos, of course. I would say FTR. Yeah. I would probably put the Lucha Brothers in there because I do enjoy watching them. I would probably say the Street Profits, though I lean more towards Montez Ford.
Okay.
And then another one. I don't know, dude. That's tough.
You're leaving out a massive one. But
I am?
The Young Bucks? I mean, what the fuck?
I can't do it. I don't like the Young
Bucks.
Bucks. I don't like the Young Bucks personally. Like, I'll put them in there, but I don't personally like them.
Wow.
So, fuck them.
What about the New Day or the Gorillas?
I'm sorry. The New Day. Yeah, we'll throw the New Day in there. New Day greater than Bucks, always.
There you go.
And Santana oh my God, I forgot Santana Ortiz. How dare I? I like Santana and Ortiz more than I like the Lucha Brothers. Like,
there you go.
FTR and Santana Ortiz are like right there. Like, I think they're so effing good that I would watch them. Like, I know tag team wrestling is not people's forte these days. Like, Vince hates it, obviously, but like those two teams, I could watch just do tag team shit for hours.
Okay.
FTR and Santana Ortiz. I think they're great.
Okay. All right. There you go. There's your answer, Chris Taylor, from your favorite fan, Aaron Turner.
Yeah, I don't like the Young Bucks, or as Cornette calls them, the Hardly Boys. I don't like them.
Cornette loves this shit. Where is the other one? He sent an, here we go. He goes, Omega versus Bryan was one of the best matches I've seen on TV in a long time. I agree, Chris. That one we can respond to for a whopping $5. So, yeah, absolutely. This was, we just said it already, how great of a match it was. And I was really surprised that it was this kind of quality on live TV. But then again, AEW is building their resume, building their brand. So they're delivering this kind of stuff for you to watch on TV to kind of tempt you into their pay-per-view. It's smart. It's really smart. And it's the blueprint you've seen for numerous years through the WWE. So no surprise at all that they made that happen. But damn, they delivered. So shout out to them.
I mean, it was the biggest event to this day for AEW, like in terms of attendance and hype and everything they had going. And it just really delivered, dude. Like, truly.
Great. Roberto Arsenal says, I love the Omega Danielson match. I loved that there was no outside interference or use of a belt or shoe. Like we've seen in Omega matches in AEW. Who do you think wins the first Owen Cup? Jericho? God, fuck no, I hope not. Pillman or Kevin Owens if he signs with AEW?
I think Pillman.
One of the young guys, right?
I think Pillman's a good bet. I think that's a safe bet because their family has history.
Right. Good point. Yes.
And Brian Pillman wasn't trained in the Hart Dungeon, but he's been in a tag team or a group with Harry Smith, for British Bulldog's son. So they have that kind of a joined legacy. So I think Brian Pillman would be great. That would be a great first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I could really think of right now. I think Brian Pillman would be great. Or if you get another young, like one of their young guns to do it, a Daniel Garcia or somebody like that, or somebody that needs like a super high boost, like maybe a Sammy Guevara, like somebody needs to get pushed to the next level. Yeah. That could be fun.
Agreed. Justin Toner says, hi, John and Aaron. Omega/Bryan was amazing. Raw was shockingly good, thanks to the Tribal Chief. Roman Biggie Lashley match was great. Agreed. Justin, that was a fucking awesome match. I'm excited that Dynamite is in Rochester, New York this week, and I have my ticket. Can't wait to share the experience with you. Justin, if you can shoot like maybe a 3 to 4 minute video of your time there and you edit it and send it in, we'll play it on the show next week. Why not? I mean, the fact that you're going to see these things, I want to see the experience of fans going to see these events, especially as AEW is on the ascendancy in such a rapid way. I want to see what your experience is like, Justin. So if you shoot a nice video and edit it great, then we'll put it up on the show next week. I promise you. So just give you some love there. And yeah, what did you see the Lashley, Roman Reigns and Biggie match?
Yeah. I thought it was great. And just as I like to say, acknowledge me, Roman Reigns. The best, dude. The best. Roman Reigns is on another level. Like I will listen to and hear your arguments for Kenny Omega, as great as he is, as great as a year that he has had.
Right.
You cannot tell me that on any given day, any given night, that Roman Reigns doesn't captivate your viewing eye. Yeah. Like you look at him and you're like, damn, that's a good guy. That's a good character doing some of the best work of his career. So, and to have Roman Reigns and Big E and Lashley in that big spot, and Lashley got his stuff in, so he got to look strong. I really think we're headed towards my prediction of maybe a Survivor Series instead of Big E versus Roman Reigns, like straight up. We're going to have the Brotherhood, or the Bloodline, Reigns and the Usos versus the New Day, Big E, Kofi, and Xavier, and the Hurt Business, Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and Cedric Alexander reunited. And that is a banger alert right there. That's going to be a banger.
Well, we're getting this now from Edward Harrell from Haskell 420. He said, Rochester will be rocking. This is the All Elite Wrestling. They just posted the card 10 minutes ago for the card on Wednesday night. The TNT title is on the line, Miro versus Sammy Guevara. Adam Cole is fighting as well in this match here against Jungle Boy. Then you've got Lucha Angel and Matt Sydal versus Cody Rhodes and Big Shotty Lee. Penelope Ford, the Bunny, and versus Anna Jay and Tay Conti. Finally, Tay Conti. That's going to be good. Tay Conti and Anna Jay versus Penelope Ford and the Bunny. Thoughts real quick on those matches. And which one stands out to you? Which one are you excited about?
The one that stands out to me is Miro and Sammy Guevara. Miro better kill him. That's all I can say.
But Sammy's on the ascendancy, man. Everybody loves Sammy.
I know he is good at what he does, but Miro is such a killer.
Yeah.
And he's facing these dudes like Fuego del Sol and these people that do not match up to him physically. Sammy Guevara is another one.
Right.
He's a small guy compared to Miro, that's for sure. He should kill him. He should absolutely kill him. Okay. And I hope that happens.
Miro's promo about his physical comeback was incredible. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to
he's gotten so much better. Like these dudes that have come in through WWE have gotten, some of them have gotten so much better. Miro's definitely one of them on the ascendancy. So I definitely want to see Miro kill him. I think your prediction of Penelope Ford and the Bunny versus Anna Jay and Tay Conti being good is woo woof. I guess I should say.
Wow.
I don't think I've seen anybody. I don't think I've seen anybody regress in terms of wrestling skill, standing, enjoyment value as Allie / the Bunny. This woman was an Impact Knockouts champion. She was in good storylines on the way out of Impact, I thought, even though she got stabbed to death. But whatever, leave that aside. She was at least interesting in Impact Wrestling. This Bunny stuff sucks. She's terrible. She is terrible to watch. Okay. Penelope Ford has flashes.
Yeah.
But she's not, I don't feel like she's gotten much better. She had that great match with Sheeta on television. Yeah. And I haven't seen that Penelope Ford since. Anna Jay and Tay Conti are a bit of a wild card because Tay has improved since her time in NXT and the WWE, but I don't know if she's had enough. I don't know if she's had enough time to like really put us in one. She also had a good match with Sheeta, so I don't know if that's Sheeta or that's Tay Conti that's doing that.
Right.
Obviously, all beautiful women. I'm not saying that. They're great in that respect. Anna Jay is so young. She's got so much more to go in terms of talent and stuff like that. But I don't know, dude. I don't know about that one. That sounds like a stinker.
Okay. Chris Rigby says, hi, guys. Sorry I can't watch live. Saw the Chris Kanyon Dark Side of the Ring episode. Respect for Brian Cage explaining his thought process about Kanyon coming out. Admitting to inherent biases is hard to do, especially when he could have not mentioned it for short. Chris, let's put a pin in that. Since you can't watch us live, you'll be watching it later. We'll definitely address your question when we get to that section, or your comment when we get to that section of the show. And Aaron, speaking of ladies who can kick ass, which you were just saying a few seconds ago, or not kick ass, let's move to the last match here, the main event, Ruby Soho taking on Dr. Britt Baker for her title. I was really surprised by the result of this match. I know there was outside interference and all that nonsense, but I was just really surprised that they had her submit. I mean, a questionable pin where she's knocked out by a foreign object, that I can accept, but a submit that puts Britt Baker over more, and I don't know, it just makes her look bad. Yeah, there was outside interference, but still, it makes her look bad that she submitted. Let her pass out first instead. What did you think?
I thought it was a stinker.
Yeah.
I thought it was the wrong event or the wrong match to put on last. And that's not saying that they can't carry that match because, I mean, look at Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker from a couple months ago. It just wasn't the right time for this match to be the main event. And I felt like there were some missed spots. There were some missed opportunities. Yes. I like you. I didn't like the tap. I thought, well, hello. And she tapped immediately.
Yeah.
Like there was even no struggle. So I was like, ugh, like, I don't know what she calls it now, but the riot kick, it was what it was called in WWE, her finisher, Ruby Soho. So when she did it to Rebel, it looked bad. When she tried to do it to Jamie Hayter, it looked kind of bad.
Yeah.
And then she tried to do it to Britt Baker, but Britt reversed her. She's getting very good at those reversals. I will say that. Like, people shit on Britt Baker, her wrestling ability. She's gotten so much better at counters and stuff. Right. She can hit that lockjaw out of nowhere. It strengthens the lockjaw submission for Britt Baker, making it look more devastating. And she is a heel, so I guess, nefarious works and stuff like that. But it just didn't. I think it was like Draws Walker says right there. It's too fast, fast for Ruby Soho to get this shot and then just be done. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I hope she's not done. I mean, we said that ourselves, that they were putting her in the match too early. I think we said it last week, and we were worried about whether it was the right move, and clearly it showed that it wasn't. And no offense to Ruby, but she looked a little gassed at the end there. And I don't mean play gassed in terms of the storyline in the match or the story they're telling. She looked legitimately gassed, man. It looked like there were moments where she was struggling to get to certain spots and take the hits or pull her moves off. So that worried me a little bit. Remember, it's been a bit. So maybe there's just been some time there where her endurance has gone down a little bit. So she's got to build it back up. So put her in the main event before they were fully ready to do a main event with these two, I think was a bit of a mistake. And so with Ruby, I hope she regroups. I hope they give her a new avenue, new angle to go back at Britt Baker. But having her submit, dude, that's so complete. Do you know what I'm saying? Like usually when someone submits, that's the end of the feud most of the time. So to me, I'm really surprised that they went that route with her. But yeah, maybe maybe she finds other people who will be on her side and help her out. So Rebel and them can't interfere as well. So we'll see.
I think honestly, you're going to see Thunder Rosa creep back into this title picture because she and Britt did such good work together. I really think she might be the one to take it off. I know a lot of people want Jade Cargill. I get that because she looks great and you would believe that she would be a champion, but she's definitely not ready. She's so green, dude. She cannot draw money with a fucking green crayon. Yeah. Like I'm telling you right now, like looks like $1 million, could be the $1 million woman, but it just isn't. I think if you give Thunder Rosa the belt and then she beats Thunder Rosa in devastating faction, Jade could be great. That could be a good way to get Jade in, but she's still a year or so away, man, from getting that title.
Yeah. We got time, or she's got time for sure. All right, let's move on out of this section. Where are we off to next, brother man?
All right, now we get to talk about the sad stuff. Other than John Rocha losing to me, is Dark Side of the Ring. The newest episode this week, the Double Life of Kanyon, was the episode. This is season 3, Part 2, episode 2. It's complicated, but it was really the journey of Chris Kanyon and his time through the Indies into WCW, into the WWF, onto the Indies, and then his unfortunate end. John, please allow me to go first here because I know you're going to have a lot of thoughts about this.
No worries.
I didn't care for it. I didn't care for this episode. I think the talking heads that they got were not good.
Really?
I thought James Mitchell was great.
Yes.
Though I didn't like him in gimmick. I thought that was weird. Why does he have the devil horns gimmick? I didn't like the Sinister Minister. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me anything I didn't know. Like, that's why I go to Dark Side of the Ring. Like last week's episode, like we all thought it was like, haha, fun and games. And then you watch it, you're like, oh God, like it was way worse than we ever thought. But this Kanyon stuff, like we knew, like afterwards, of course, we knew Kanyon was gay.
Yeah.
We respect Kanyon as a talent because of how great he was and how innovative he was in the ring. And they showed that. Yeah. And they showed some darker things that he did, like choking James Mitchell and him allegedly pulling a gun on him. I didn't believe that. It sounded fake. I just think that in the mental health struggles, it's awful. It's terrible. It just felt like they put an hour-long episode of Dark Side of the Ring in something you could have told me in 15 minutes. And that to me that's just bad television. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying the story of Kanyon is bad. Of course it's not. It's very sad and tragic. True. I think the way that it was presented on Dark Side of the Ring was bad. It was a bad episode of television, if I could make that point. But that's what I thought of it. I just thought it was not good. I thought it was one of the lesser episodes of Dark Side of the Ring.
Wow. Well, we couldn't be on two more opposite sides on this, unfortunately. I mean, I absolutely loved it. And I think because I didn't know that much about Kanyon. And so I think this is where we maybe are at a crossroads sometimes, Aaron, with you. It's like you already know all this stuff. And maybe a majority of the wrestling fans, but I think Dark Side of the Ring is for people who are wrestling fans and people who are casual wrestling fans
sure.
and maybe don't even know anything about it. And so there was a lot they got into that I didn't know about. And to be honest with you, when I did my first pro wrestling show with me and Andre Gordon, my brother Andre Gordon, the Money in the Bank show, we were offered a chance to shoot a couple episodes at Chris Kanyon, with Chris Kanyon rather, and we didn't. It just didn't work. Scheduling just didn't work out. And of course, he passed away in 2010. So this was back in the mid 2000s. There was possibilities for us. We didn't take advantage of it. So I was watching this with even more of an earnest eye to find out what happened and what went down. And I always thought of Kanyon as Mortis, and I didn't buy into the Mortal Kombat thing. So for me, I kind of dismissed Kanyon. I didn't have that reverence for Kanyon that it seemed to have with people like DDP who were talking about it, and other people on the special like Brian Cage and the Young Bucks, who were all talking about the influence of Kanyon on them. I was really surprised by that. So I didn't know that he had that kind of legacy. And then we get into those stories from James Mitchell, as you said, and all the stuff he went through being friends with Kanyon. And you're right. You're right to have a skeptical eye, because what kind of guy keeps putting up with that kind of behavior? Do you know what I'm saying? What guy puts up with being choked out?
But it's your friend. It's your best friend.
Shit, motherfucker choked me out. He's dead. I'll tell you that right now. He's a friend or not, he's dead. Family member or not, he's dead.
I know, but you recognize somebody has a problem, and this is the tipping point where you figure that out.
Yeah, true. Right, exactly. And there should have been, well, you can't say should because you don't know people's abilities. And at that time, we're not as open about homosexuality in the business. We're not as open about mental health as we are now. We've really grown in leaps and bounds since Kanyon was in professional wrestling. It's incredible. And I'm like they said near the end of the documentary, if he was alive now, there's very strong possibilities he could be a real hero, both inside and outside the ring. Some of the things that struck me, though, were the Brian Cage. Yeah. What Chris, sorry, let me get his name, Chris. What Chris Rigby said here about Brian Cage, I appreciated that as well, that he was able to speak about his process when he heard the news. His first was like, oh, man, that sucks. And then realizing, wait, no, it doesn't change anything. This guy's still awesome. So maybe you said, it could have been 15 minutes, but I think there's power in these stories of people finding out about him being gay, and it's not a big deal. And that how much that had changed from when he was around, and being told at a young age, like this is something to be ashamed of, and carrying it with them, and then being bipolar the combination of all those things is a horrible thing to carry. And so in those moments where James Mitchell was telling us that he was yelling at him saying, you don't know what it's like to be inside my mind, this is the truth. As someone who almost took his life in 2016, there are still moments, even though I have a nation, even though people cheer and everything like that, there are moments where I'm by myself, where I feel like I'm the most hated person, or I don't like myself. That's real. That's the game of mental health. It can absolutely make you feel like you're nobody, even though you've got people who follow you or like you or cheer for you or want your autograph like Kanyon had, or revere you or go train with you. Still in your mind, it doesn't doesn't connect sometimes if you don't have the tools to climb out of those spaces when you go into them. So for me, it resonated really powerfully, because I think there should be more of these stories being told by more people of prominence and note and name, so we can talk about mental health a little bit more and understand it as much as possible. Because people that don't have mental health issues have a really hard time understanding people who do. Because you have to viscerally experience it in order to understand it. And
Sure.
I think that's tough for people who don't have that impulse or that instinct or that desire. And I think it's what's interesting. So I hear your points, and of course your point of view is absolutely valid. If you felt it was a bit boring or not as good as you wanted it to be, I personally took a lot away from this and was very moved by it, and heartbroken that the man died at a young age of 40, man, and in his childhood home. Like, that just tells you how deeply disturbed and troubled and heartbroken this man's life was. And no matter what anybody tried to do, there wasn't enough help and support there for him to climb out of this, write a fantastic best-selling memoir, and become a person who tours and speaks to young athletes who are possibly gay, or speaks to these places, conventions, to be more tolerant of people who are and more accepting of people who are. He could have served an incredible purpose. Also, one more thing, Cena and Flair come off looking like real assholes in this fucking documentary, and that's the second week in a row where there's some Flair heat from Dark Side of the Ring on him, man. So I'm not surprised by the Cena thing, because no matter how many inspirational shit he posts on his social media, there is a litany of bullshit he has pulled in the past towards other wrestlers and towards other people that you can cite to kind of contradict those positive messages. So,
well, I think in terms of John, like, obviously WWE would never let them do that anymore. They would never let that happen again.
Yeah, all right, good point. Yeah, go on story. Honest, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, Dark Side of the Ring 2, Ric Flair 0.
Yeah.
Ric Flair getting drug through the mud, and rightfully so. I don't understand why Ric Flair said the things that he said. Like, he's like, I'm just going to double down on what John said. Kanyon was bad. He thought it doesn't belong in WWE. It's like, what?
Yeah,
it's crazy. But I think that with this episode, like I said, if the talking heads were different, like, okay, so they had DDP, good. They had James Mitchell, good.
Yeah.
Everybody else, like even Brian Cage, who trained with Kanyon, I just felt like I was getting nothing out of Brian Cage. And the Young Bucks, I didn't feel like I got a lot out of them. Okay. And I was the other Hawks or the other guy, I didn't feel like I was getting a lot out of him. And I was just like, why couldn't you have got Raven? Number one, Raven was really upset that they didn't ask him about it. It's one of his best friends. So they didn't ask him. He's available. I kind of wish they would have got Glacier. I wish they would have got Eric Bischoff. Like, I can't believe I just said that, but I wish they would have got Eric Bischoff because he always talked positively about Kanyon. Yes. I would just wish I wish they got Undertaker. I know they couldn't, but I wish they would have got Undertaker. I think he would have talked some stuff about Kanyon. And I don't know, dude, like, to be truthful with you, like, my mom's bipolar. I've seen it. My best friend's bipolar. Okay. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen what happens. I've seen how people react. I've been beaten by a bipolar person. It's happened. Yeah. So I did feel a lot of this episode. I just felt, like I said, I felt like the way it was presented was just not good television overall. I thought it just could have been better.
All right. Fair enough. Somebody said in the chat that that Raven released a statement about it, but I don't see his Twitter where he did release a statement about it. So you know what the statement was?
I saw it yesterday. Let me try to pull it up real quick if Haskell hasn't beat me to it.
Because this says Raven's tweets are protected. I guess I'm not. I haven't followed.
He may have gone private for the backlash.
Oh, okay.
I can't find it.
This isn't good audio, but
Okay, that's all right.
yeah, we'll just move on.
Okay. Just wanted to see if maybe we had something because a few people were talking about it. All right, let's see. We got a super chat that came through here. Tommy Tom says, "Hey guys, was curious if any talks about watching / reviewing old matches again. Love what y'all do and like seeing y'all finding some new wrestling gems." We started out that way, but we're getting more views doing what we're doing now, and maybe down the road. Listen, there's and Aaron doesn't even know this, so I'm kind of talking about it out loud with Aaron, and of course Aaron will have his points of views. But we've talked about playing Madden on Twitch. I'm starting to look at moving all the live shows over to Twitch and just broadcasting from StreamYard onto Twitch so that we can have even more interaction with people who are roaming through. So that's a possibility that we're looking at now for the Outlaw Nation. So, and I'm talking about Game Time. I'm talking about John and Wendy Explain the World. I'm talking about this one Outlaw Nation show possibly as well. So just ideas I'm kicking around to kind of expand the brand, expand the scope, and the exposure that people will have. So reviewing old matches is something we can do for fun on Twitch, no problem. So maybe if Aaron has the time and I have the time and we can schedule stuff, we can certainly make that a possibility if Aaron has the time to do it. So we can make it happen. So sure.
Also, programming note, I'm not going to be here next week. I got some personal stuff going on. So maybe, I think we need to record a Dark Side of the Ring review. So we may just have that.
Oh, yeah.
For next week. So maybe we can just do that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, here's Raven's tweet to follow up on this. He said, I guess it's at the Raven Effect. My bad. He said, for those who are wondering, I was not contacted to be a part of Kanyon's Dark Side of the Ring episode. Yeah, I'm as puzzled as anyone else. Why not? Our friendship had a lot of depth to it, and I feel like I would have had quite a bit to contribute, unique to my perspective. So that's kind of surprising, isn't it, that he didn't get contacted for this? So interesting.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah.
I see Bryant Brawler in the chat. He says, "Do you have to pay to watch Dark Side of the Ring?" I don't know if you live in the States or where you're at, but in the States, you can watch it on Vice. If you have cable or streaming or whatever, you can watch it on Amazon Prime. Like you can buy it on Amazon for like $2 an episode.
Yeah.
Which is fairly cheap, or you can buy the whole season, I think, for like $20 or something. Yeah. I have streaming now. I have DirecTV Stream, so I just watch it on demand when it's on.
Yeah. Or I watch it this morning on Daily Motion. If you go to Daily Motion, they have it.
I was trying to go legit, but
if you have to go over, that's legit. You can go to that website. You don't have to jump through hoops to that website. If you find it there and you can watch it there, they made the plane ride from hell last week. They put that for free on YouTube, so you can certainly watch that one on YouTube. But this one, if you go to Daily Motion, I watched it this morning there. Just have to watch some ads through the programming, and you're fine. And it was clear. The audio was great. It was HD, so you can do it there if you want as well.
The problem.
Go ahead. No, I'm saying on Vice you have passes, so you can watch these episodes. They give you 30-minute pass. You use 4 of them. After you use 4 of them, you don't have any more free passes there, so you can use that if you want to.
That sounds stupid. What a stupid thing. On YouTube though, like the ones that they have are not the actual. Like it's the actual episode. But because of copyright, they have to like do weird zooms and edits and things. So you're not really getting the full experience. So if you don't have Vice or you can't get Vice, just buy it for $2 or what he said. Just do that. But don't tell him I told you that.
There you go. All right. Where are we off to? Oh, yeah. So anyway, So, okay. Haskell said the episode is now on Vice's YouTube channel. There you go. So
okay. Well, there you go.
And enjoy it. As it's meant to be. So, all right. Well, coming out, I liked it. Aaron didn't fully, but I thought it was an important story to be told. I'm glad the Dark Side of the Ring guys did it. And there's always people who are going to be like, why didn't they contact me? That's always the way it goes.
Sure.
But maybe they're limited or maybe they didn't know. And that's just the game. But I think having DDP, the Young Bucks and Brian Cage and a couple of other people there, I think they cover the bases for me, at least from what I wanted to see. So, all right, let's move on to our. Do I have any more Streamlabs or Super Chats? No. All right, let's move on to our next thing. What do we got here?
All right, now we're talking about the pay-per-view of the WWE this weekend. Extreme Rules, where there's no hardcore matches, so it doesn't make sense.
It is.
God, it's so stupid. Yeah. So WWE Extreme Rules is this weekend. We're going to go through the match card and give our predictions for what we think will happen and if you need to watch it or not. Because what's funny about this card already is that Big E is your new WWE champion, a guy you want to put the hype train behind for sure. And Bobby Lashley and him have been having these great back and forths.
Yeah.
And he's not on the show. All right. And we will go ahead and get through the card. First match, this was made, I believe, last week. It is going to be Liv Morgan versus Carmella. John, who you got?
I don't care. I don't care. It's probably going to be Liv Morgan because they're giving her the push. And I feel bad for Carmella because I can't believe I'm saying this 3 years later. I mean, I hated Carmella 3 years ago as a wrestler. There's numerous episodes of me saying that, but I've come around on her a lot, and I think she deserves to have a push. And having her get turned into a rag doll by Bianca Belair did nothing for her career, and having her getting moved down the chain here is just sad. And so, but I do think Liv is going to beat her because right now that's where Carmella is.
Yeah. I think if you're not going to use her, as a wrestler and get her over and give her a title, make her a mouthpiece, make her a manager because she's good at talking.
Yeah, she really is.
And she looks great, guys. She looks amazing. She's in great shape. She always looks great, always on top on the fashion game. So just give her something to do. Like, give her one of those stupid talk shows that they do. Like do that. You know what I mean? Like, do something with her. She's too talented to just leave her in the background.
Carmella's corner. I can see it.
That's fine.
Yeah. All
it's
right.
Better than the Kevin Owens show. No offense. Next match is a whoop whoop banger alert. It is the Usos, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, versus the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, for those SmackDown Tag Team titles. So you got here.
I think the timing of this is really interesting because Survivor Series is right around the corner. So the idea of having the Usos lose and maybe rattling the bloodline is really interesting. So, but I don't think they're going to do that yet. This isn't where it happens. I think it's going to be a hell of a match, but I think the Street Profits are going to come up a little bit short, but it's not going to take anything away from them to come up short. So I think that's why they're going to take the loss here, because they have a bigger picture, the WWE does, about what they want to do with the bloodline heading into Survivor Series. So I think absolutely the Usos retain. What about you?
Yeah, I'm on your train of thinking here. I think that the Usos are just that bloodline, man. It's just so popular. It's like the hottest thing in WWE right now. So you want to keep riding that train. The Usos are a big part of it. So yeah, you got to keep the titles on them. As much as I like the Profits, I think they're great. It's just got to keep it where it's hot.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. All right, what's our next match?
Our next match is a United States Championship triple threat match. You know, we love those multi-people matches. It is Damian Priest, your champion, versus the former champion Sheamus, versus a former champion in Jeff Hardy. Who you got here?
This is Damian Priest. I mean, I don't know how you think anybody else is going to win this match. Sheamus doesn't move the needle. Jeff Hardy certainly doesn't move the needle. And Damian Priest needs more time with but you just made him champion. So you need to have him defend it. And if you want to make this guy one of the guys that you're pushing down the road for the top titles, you got to let him run a little while with the belt. But I also think you got to give him some strong matches to be a part of and to get the victories from. So I think this is going to be a heck of a match. You got a bruising brawler in Sheamus. You got a high flyer in Hardy, and you got Damian Priest, who's kind of, in essence, in the middle between them both. So able to counter their moves, able to deliver the same moves, and his own moveset as well. So that excites me overall. And this is going to be a good challenge for Damian Priest, but I think Damian wins it.
Okay, fair enough. I tend to agree. I think that the WWE really loves Damian Priest. I think they love everything that he does. I mean, look at the guy. He's got a great look. And, you know, he sounds menacing. He looks menacing. He's got a really cool move set.
Yeah.
And I think they want to push him as quickly as they can because he's not young. And I don't mean that as an ageist comment. I'm just telling you, in the wrestling business, he's not young.
Right.
So they want to get as much out of Damian Priest as they can. Look at the Bad Bunny stuff. There's rumors that Bad Bunny's coming back to do some stuff. Like, to put Damian Priest in that spot with a celebrity at WrestleMania, they got to put a lot behind Damian Priest for that. And they're going to have Bunny coming back. I think that'll be cool. So, yeah, I like Damian Priest. I want to see him win.
Okay. What do we got next?
All right. So, boy, the next match is the Raw Women's Championship match. It will be that devilish Alexa Bliss versus the Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. What do you got in this one?
God. I hope cooler heads prevail here and Charlotte retains the belt. That's what I want to see. And so I don't want to put it out into the universe with a prediction that Alexa Bliss could win. I just want to believe that they're going to try to smash this angle because it is driving me insane. I hate it now, where I used to love it when she was with Bray. Now I hate it. It's run its course. It's boring now. And the whole thing, it's a fucking doll. And so to me, I think Charlotte's smashing this storyline and forcing Alexa Bliss to go even more evil and maybe get rid of the doll and become even more of an ultra heel back to where she was, Twisted Bliss and all that. That's what I want to see. So hopefully this is it, but I got a horrible, ugly feeling they're going to give her the belt here yet again, even though Charlotte just won it back. So
I just had a horrible thought. Do you know what's coming out like really soon? Like I think it's in like the next couple of weeks.
What's
the
that?
new TV show? Chucky.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Chucky's getting a new TV show on USA.
Oh,
so you know what that means? Cross promotional Jones, baby. Oh my God. Lily is going to start dating Chucky, and it's going to be fucking awful. And you're going to want to throw your remote at the television because you know that Chucky and Lily are going to have something going on. It's going to happen, dude. I just realized this, and it sucks. It's awful. Right. If they don't give her the title, they're going to do something. I think this might get her the title.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Chucky comes back to wrestling for the first time since he called out Rick Steiner back in the WCW days.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I think Alexa Bliss might win.
Yeah. I mean, seeing the chat, Red Comment says she hopes she wins. And then J Dog saying doll sells. She isn't going anywhere. Maranta saying the doll got a chant. Christopher Steichleather, really interesting point. If Alexa wins, then she would have defeated all 4 horsewomen for the titles. Is that correct? Well, I guess Becky, Bianca. Oh, no, sorry. Becky, Sasha, Becky, God damn it. Sasha, Becky, Bailey, and Charlotte. So that's fair.
Interesting stat.
Yeah.
I do like that Draws Walker said can't leave Tiffany out. Yeah, it's going to be a love triangle. It's going to be Lily and Chucky and Tiffany and good Lord. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
We gotta. Yeah. I love Jennifer Tilly. She's great.
Scott Welsh. I swear to God, if Chucky goes over Big E.
Hey, Brad Dourif, the voice of Chucky, of course, great actor.
Yes. Agreed.
West Virginia. Shout out. Great. One of the greatest dudes ever. Marshall University alum. But anywho, the next match we're talking about, we're not talking about Chucky or Brad Dourif's career, is Bianca Belair versus the former man, the Ma, Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Does Bianca get her win back, or does Becky Lynch continue to roll? What do you think?
I don't know what. I'm going to go with what I think is going to happen, but I have no idea. And at least there's one match on this card where I have no idea, and I actually care what the result is going to be. And I think I kind of feel like Bianca Belair is going to win this thing, and then it becomes a Becky going full heel, even though she's in full heel mode now, but maybe even more heel. Like a crying baby heel, upset heel, bitching heel. Like she said, you guys were chanting for Becky. I came back and I should have stayed home with my kid, So maybe we can play that out even more if Bianca gets the victory. But I can also see Becky winning and Bianca taking another loss since she's such a face and the fans are really with her. Maybe this turns into that whole journey thing where she's going and trying to get the belt back for like 6 months before she finally wins it back at a massive pay-per-view. So I could see both angles, but I kind of want Bianca to win to pay for the 30-second squash job they pulled on her at Becky Lynch's hands. What do you think?
I think the draft is coming up, and I think that Bianca Belair is going to get drafted away from SmackDown.
What? You really
I
do?
think, yeah, I think that I think that Becky Lynch is going to win.
Jesus.
Whoever wins is getting drafted away, or whoever loses is getting drafted away. So if Becky loses, she's going to Raw. If Bianca loses, she's going to Raw, because you can't put them on the same show,
right?
Because you can't keep doing this back and forth because it sucks. Or I guess you could. It's WWE. Yeah, exactly. They're too good.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny to me about this whole thing? I didn't mention. I was watching SmackDown last night for a little bit, and they had it was Natalya versus Nikki ASH. God kill me. And they had Nikki ASH come out, and she got down the ramp, and then they gave Rhea Ripley an entrance.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley's still over, folks.
Yep.
She's over like Rover, and I don't know what the hell we're doing with her. We gave her tag team titles that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
So I want to see Rhea Ripley ascend, and if she and Bianca could do something together, that would be awesome.
Right.
So okay. Well, anyways, that was an aside. But my prediction for this is that Becky Lynch will retain.
Yeah.
And Bianca will go away.
Okay. All right. And I think they're just giving Rhea Ripley the belts just to like keep her in the eyes as a champion and kind of appease her for now until they give her another push for that belt. So. Yeah, I get it. We'll see.
And I'm going to give that match also a banger alert. So, whoop, banger alert. We need a soundboard.
Yeah, we do need a soundboard.
Hey, the Schmoedown Rundown has a soundboard.
Don't you compare that show?
We do. They do. They do. They have a soundboard. I was floored by that.
You're better than Frank, and I'm better than Brad. So don't cut that crap out.
We're all friends, and I enjoy. I enjoy them. It's very nice of them to invite me back. It's very nice.
You know what?
Anyway, so the last match on the card is the main event. I'm sorry, I'm a Skybound guy now. The main event of the evening.
Since when? Anyway,
since this morning, apparently. The main event of the evening is your tribal chief. Acknowledge him, the head of the table.
Yeah.
The blood pumpingest of the bloodline, the best in the world. I said it. Roman Reigns, your Universal Champion, versus the Demon, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Oh, Reigns wins this. I don't care how undefeated Demon is. There's no gimmick. There's no character. There's no storyline that can destroy what Roman Reigns has built right now, right? Right now, he is invincible. And so for me, I think it's going to be an awesome match. Like the great ones, it'll come real close that Finn might win in a couple of spots. But in the end, I think Roman Reigns is going to absolutely take this thing because he has to take this thing for the business. The business absolutely takes a nosedive if and the money takes a nosedive if Finn Balor becomes champion. So it makes no sense. But Finn has to, if this is in the recuperation or the redemption of Finn Balor, this is the next step. So if Finn delivers a hell of a performance here,
which he will,
then, he becomes like back into the mix consistently for these belts. And that's a good thing for Finn. He doesn't have to win here, but I think Roman Reigns for the business has to win here. What do you think?
In a perfect world, this match would end with Finn Balor going to the top to do the coup de grace. The lights go out, and the fucking Fiend gets in the middle of the ring and plants his ass on the ground. That would be in a perfect world, but that's not going to happen.
Right.
So Roman is going to put on a banger with Finn Balor, another whoop, whoop, banger alert, and it's going to be great. It's going to go down to the wire. Roman's barely going to win. Yeah. And then Brock Lesnar's going to come out and beat his ass. That's exactly what's going to happen. So,
do you think Paul Heyman is going to turn on him here?
On Roman Reigns?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
And it's so good which way he's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. Like, if he goes with Roman, it keeps the bloodline strong. That whole that whole thing strong.
Yeah.
And then if he goes with Brock, it's like, of course he goes with Brock. He's a friggin' destroyer. So
right. Okay.
Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah, Brock, there's no way Brock doesn't come out, right?
Got to.
Do you think Finn's about to win and Brock comes out and like messes with his? I know Brock's a face now, but Brock's even when Brock's a face, Brock is just this side of the face, you know?
No, I don't think so. I think Finn's gonna like come close to the cusp of winning, and then he's gonna just lose by a hair, which keeps him, strong. I hate to keep saying that, but it keeps him strong, and he may be another guy that's on the move in the draft. So we're gonna see. We'll see next week with the draft and stuff where people end up.
All right. Any shocking predictions for the draft as we wrap up here?
You're gonna see less NXT talent than you've ever seen.
Okay.
I think that you may see 2, and I think you might see LA Knight, which I predict. If you don't put LA Knight on the main roster, then get rid of him because you're never going to do anything with him.
Okay.
So LA Knight hopefully goes to the main roster. And I think that if you really want to make a splash, you gotta send like Johnny Gargano, or you gotta send somebody that people know up there, or Raquel Gonzalez. She's somebody I look at. You can send up there and would make an instant impact. Even though she is the champion, she's got no competition right now. Okay. Io and Zoe are the tag team champions. They don't do anything, but they're the tag team champions. Candice is pregnant. Indy's doing the Dexter thing. She already killed Dakota Kai, and she's on the main roster now. The only person that she really has something to feud with is like Frankie Monet, and I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And they got Toxic Attraction with Mandy Rose and her group. So I don't know, man. I could see Raquel going up. I could.
Okay. All right. I agree with you on LA Knight. You got to move him up now. This is the time. Do it. I agree with you. Maybe even Cameron Grimes too. Why not?
Maybe.
Two separate.
That's another good one.
Yeah, one Raw or one in Raw and the other in SmackDown. I think that totally makes sense. Somebody mentioned that they might break up the Street Profits up here. Do you think that's true? Zeno Hour.
I would really suck for Angelo Dawkins because he struggled for so long to get to the main roster. Mm-hmm. Then I think he might be the longest tenured NXT competitor. Yeah. Him and Aaliyah, I think. But he struggled for so long to get to the main roster. They put him in the tag team with Montez Ford. I don't think anybody thought it was really going to work.
Right.
And then with their charisma, they got popular. They both got popular. It just boosted both of them. But Montez Ford is obviously the superstar of the group. And I'm not saying that Angelo Dawkins is a Jannetty. Right. I'm just saying that like Montez Ford is obviously way more athletically gifted, even though Dawkins is an amateur wrestler. Like Montez Ford could jump out of the building, dude. So, and he's charismatic as hell, and he's good looking, and he's just likable, just a likable guy, former military guy, just somebody who could really build character around. And I hate to see that happen for Angelo Dawkins, but Montez Ford is great.
Yeah, fair. And then real quick shout out to Scarlett Bordeaux and Karrion Kross, who are engaged, officially, actually engaged. Another Lana Miro situation. They're
the hell took you so long.
And they seem like they're very happy. So hopefully that's a positive down the road for both of them in their relationship. So we send them all the best. One last Streamlab here before we wrap up. Roberto Arsenal. I'm in the minority here, but the Street Profits don't do nothing for me. They suck. Wow.
We're off. See ya.
Their promos are the most silly in wrestling. I can't take nothing they do serious. I'm pissed off that Aaron's Titans cost me money last week. Thought Seattle would win. Oh, there you go. There you go.
You never count out the Titans, and I'll tell you why. Their head coach is a former linebacker for the Patriots, and he doesn't play games like that. He will grind your ass to the ground. And that's what they did last week with Derrick Henry. Like they could have just sat on their ass and just like thrown the ball a lot, but they said, we'll just pound it with Derrick Henry, which is what they should have done the week before. Yes, and look what happened. Derrick Henry is a maniac and is a monster. And you can't, when he gets running downhill, you cannot stop him. I don't care who you put in there outside of Khalil Mack, baby, like that could actually stop him going downhill. Like it's not possible. But
he's one of the scariest dudes because when he gets going, when you watch him on the line, when he's searching for the hole, sometimes he'll literally go and he looks like he's going this way while the offense is going this way. And all he's doing is moving smaller people out of the way so that he can burst through the hole. It's unsettling. It's like how big he is and how long his arms are. It is unsettling. And so when he makes that turn and he's got steam, good night, dude. Good.
They do this drill with Derrick Henry in practice where they will have their scout team players. It's not really a good thing to talk about. It's more visual, but they have them in gaps. They'll have these people on the ground. And as Derrick Henry is like slowly jogging through the football, they will like lunge at his legs and try to pull him down. And it's like stiff arm practice. Like like he practices stiff arming people that grab his legs. It's insane to watch. It's crazy. And those dudes are getting paid $400,000 to get pushed in the mud by Derrick Henry. It's awesome. But anyway, what was the original question? Because I completely forgot. Or the original comment.
Just commenting that the Street Profits are no good in his opinion.
You're a son of a bitch for saying that. It's not true. They're amazing. They're incredibly entertaining. They bring the swag like nobody can. Montez Ford, like rocking out with that baby on Monday Night Raw, like all those times. That clip's amazing. What a great clip. That's so good. I don't agree with you on that, but you know your opinion is yours and yours alone. Somebody put in the chat earlier that Shotzi Blackheart, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Gigi Dolan are greater than all the women on the AEW roster. And I think they meant in terms of looks. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, but I would take out Gigi Dolan, who is pretty. And of course, I would stick a Mandy Rose, and then you would have it because they're all great. They're all great.
No comment.
So I'm just saying, my wife's friend that she used to work with was on, like, put up a photo on Instagram, and my wife showed it to me. She's like, who are these people that she's with? And she went to Halloween Horror Nights with Shotzi Blackheart, Scarlett Bordeaux, Karrion Kross, Indy Hartwell, and Rhea Ripley. And I was like, I want to hang out with her now. Like, I kind of need to hang out with these people. So that happened.
There you go.
Just sit my ass at home.
Go get it, man. Shout out there. Apparently, Aaron can cuss out one of our fans, but I can't say anything against Chris Taylor. That's bias right there. So
I said he could have his own opinion, but I can cuss at him because it's horseshit.
Right, there you go. All right. Thank you all so much for watching this live episode of Strong Style. We appreciate it madly. Aaron, always fun busting balls with you, my man. Talk to me about where people can find you and if you've got an FCL match coming up.
I don't have an FCL match coming up. I'm sorry.
You might. Go ahead.
Oh, I might. Ooh. You can find me on Twitter at Only Aaron Turner. You'll find me this weekend playing a bunch of Madden because my wife's out of town. So
all right.
You find me with a big fat pizza watching somebody plays tonight that's good. I think Florida and Tennessee play tonight. I think that's the best game this weekend. So I'll be watching that, and then I'll be watching a ton of NFL tomorrow. So drinking beer and eating pizza, the dream.
I'll probably end up finding you somewhere. And shout out to Notre Dame, who demolished Wisconsin today. I thought that was going to be the game of the weekend. 41-13. Woof. So we'll see. And Florida gave Bama all they could handle last week. That was a hell of a game.
Did.
Felt like the Titans Seahawks thing where Florida found their way to keep coming back against Bama, but eventually Bama took care of business in the way the Seahawks couldn't. So there you go. Yeah, a lot of good football matchups this weekend as well. And definitely the Rams taking on the Buccaneers is going to be awesome. And then the 49ers taking on the Packers is going to be a lot of fun on Sunday night. So
that Rams game going to be a 48-45er?
Yeah, probably.
Good Lord. Matt Stafford's going to throw for 600 yards. It's going to be gross.
Yeah. I'm on 8 fantasy teams, so I'm monitoring a bunch of players.
Is Matt Stafford your quarterback? Because that'd be a good
no, fuck no, not yet, not yet though.
Jesus,
but I might pick him up as a backup. I'm telling you, if he stays healthy for a few more weeks, I'm gonna pick him up as a backup. I just drafted McCaffrey in the one last week, and sure enough, injured. Fucking hell, man, I was so mad. I knew I shouldn't have taken him. I knew I shouldn't have taken him first. I had a feeling, and I just did it. Just maybe tempting chance, and now I'm paying for it. Anyway, that's not what you're watching now.
What?
Thank you all so much.
Yeah, I got one more comment before we go. Somebody said in the chat, I think it's gone now. Just having Derrick Henry isn't enough. Yeah, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you this. Marilyn Monroe once said in a movie. I don't remember what movie it was. Maybe you can tell me. She said, it's not enough for a girl to be pretty, but it sure does help, or something like that. You may not need Derrick Henry for everything, but it sure do help. It sure do help to have Derrick Henry. So I'm glad we have him.
Yeah, definitely. And Tannehill looked like himself last week as opposed to the first week of the season. And
the refs tried to screw him on a Julio Jones touchdown, which was obviously a touchdown. And they're like, no, that's not it. I'm like, bullshit. Anyway, we still won.
Also, he was totally grounded in the end zone for that safety and overtime.
Oh, my God. That was ridiculous.
He himself ran into the end zone. That's the safety right there. So
he got the Russ call. It was ridiculous.
He did. All right. Well, thank you again, everyone. I appreciate it. Please follow Aaron at Only Aaron Turner. Follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And if you're going to start following us on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. Do that. The Outlaw Nation, all one word, on Twitch. And you can follow or subscribe to me there. So get involved there. Also the Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha. See the multiple tiers. The tiers are changing October 1st. So get in now so you can get grandfathered in for the tiers. We're going to cut them down to just 4 tiers as opposed to the 7 we have now, and make it more accessible to people and more interactive. So get into it now. Much love to all of you. Don't forget, I'm on the Ultimate Schmodown after show today at 3 p.m. I'll be on at some point in the 3 to 4 p.m. hour, and then at 4 o'clock doing the stereo show with the Lady Outlaw. We're going to talk Shang-Chi at 4 o'clock today on the channel. Just like on the stereo there. So go and find it there. All right. Thanks, guys, so much. Thanks to Aaron Turner. Enjoy Extreme Rules this weekend, everybody. And we'll talk to you next time with another brand new episode of Strong Style. And
wear a mask.
There you go. Wear a mask. Do it.